Welcome back to Straight Outta Marvel. It shows Kevin 27 back with another fire episode. And today we have the Thunderbolts instant reaction. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am so glad that we finally made it to another Marvel blockbuster. And I have to say, this movie was blockbuster in all the aspects that you want. So before we get to those aspects, please follow at Kevin27 World on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Subscribe, hit that like button, okay, and light up that exotic if you got it. Pour up that expensive so we can get offensive. Now, I say this movie is a Marvel blockbuster and everything that you want because you guys know my first thing always is what the crowd look like. Now, I did go at 6 o'clock later than I usually would, but I can say walking in, seeing a full packed crowd before you even walk in, mind you, no parking spots. Okay, so we had to park around the corner. And then you walk in, the theater is packed. Every seat is filled up, is what you want to see. It felt like peak Marvel era back in that 2018, 29 era. You know what I mean? Even No Way Home era, it felt like a little bit, not as much. Not as much, but still. You love to see it, okay? And mind you, we see in D box. So this is more expensive tickets. And it's on the premiere night. So the tickets are a little more expensive. So you love to see that. So that's one. Two, I think the movie delivered for the casual. If I'm being honest, I think for the casual, the movie delivered. And if you're an MCU stan, they landed the plane. Okay. So if it's me, an MCU stan, is it the best movie since Avengers Endgame? Absolutely not. No. Eric Voss, someone drug test this man. See what's in the system. See what type of zooties he was on when he said this was the best movie since Avengers Endgame. No, it's not. Please stop it. Okay. Now, I did like this movie strongly. Did I love it? No. I did not love Thunderbolts. I don't mean to be a sourpuss, piss poor, attitude. I don't mean to do it. But you guys know I'm Mr. MCU. I got the Thunderbolt shirt on right now. Check out the drip. Went with the pink shirt with the pink Crocs. Like, bruh, I'm Mr. MCU. I seen people up in there with Marvel shirts that came out 6 years ago. Like, bruh, I bought my shirt last week. I'm Mr. MCU, okay? It's not the best, my opinion, it's not the best movie since Endgame. First of all, and I don't even want to just start shitting on it. So let's just get to the things about it. But it's not the best movie since Avengers Endgame. Fuck it. Is not better than No Way Home, not even in the same stratosphere. And only why I say that, you got to think about the ending of Far From Home and the build up with Sony and Marvel clashing, or Sony and Disney clashing over the rights and finally getting it back and everything that happened. You got to think about that momentum. And then just the story, the beginning of No Way Home is just light years ahead of what was going on in Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was the exact movie that I thought it would be. A Suicide Squad that's not trash. That's what it was. It was the Suicide Squad, but it's done by Marvel. So it's a better movie. It's not trash because DC didn't have their fucking nasty fingerprints all over it. Like, let's just keep it real. So, the best movie since Endgame? No. The best movie since No Way Home? No. The best movie since Guardians of the Galaxy? No. And I'm talking about three. The best movie since what came after that? What was after Guardians of the Galaxy? Black Panther 2? No. The best movie since Deadpool and Wolverine? Absolutely not. So I'm just this is just my opinion. I'm going to go see it again tomorrow, and I was well rested. I smoked a fat joint, so I was locked in. Okay, it was not my favorite Marvel movie since Endgame, not even close. So now, as far as it being a good movie, yes, I will say it was a good movie. We can bring up the cast. And let's talk about the cast. Let's talk about the great job that Jake Schreier did as the director. I'm all in for that. Florence Pugh as Black Widow, aka Yelena, bodied her role. Now the acting, I'm all in. I'm all in. The acting between her, Lewis Pullman, who plays Sentry, aka Bob, fire. Uh Geraldine, what's her name? Vince Wanathan. She played Mel. She was the pseudo, like she was playing both sides character. She was good. Okay. David Harbour, I gotta keep it honest and real. David Harbour saved me from boredom. I know that might sound harsh, but when David Harbour showed up back up in the movie, it saved me from a little boredom because I wasn't getting bored of the story per se. It's just I'm used to a little bit more pizzazz in my Marvel movies, and I don't feel like we got that until David Harbour showed up, and then obviously Bucky Barnes showing up after that. It really brought the movie together to make it a solid entry into the MCU. My personal opinion. Um Now let's talk about US agent Wyatt Russell, which was played or not Wyatt Russell, but whatever his name is. He was played by Wyatt Russell. What's his name? They just called my man's US agent. Oh, John Walker. So let's talk about John Walker. So they really tried their hardest to make John Walker like a lovable character. I thought most of his lines were annoying. A few, and I say a few, meaning literally three or four. It's not more than that. Were like, okay, that's a good line. Like I just can't buy into liking John Walker, and I'm trying my hardest. Now, I do think if you're not a fan of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you might like John Walker, but I agree with Sentry. He was like, bro, I just can't believe he's Captain America. Like, you're such an asshole. Like, yeah, like he's just annoying as hell, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Annoying as hell. So, hmm. So we already broached Bucky Barnes. Um, The one who played Ghost, I liked her character. I thought she really shined. You know, I thought she really shined. She was really good, especially for her being in the film or in the MCU for the first time since 2018 when the whole Ant-Man and the Wasp thing happened. So, yeah, I thought she did a really good job. If you want an overview of the movie, we got ensnared in a death trap, an unconventional team of anti-heroes, Yelena Belova, Becky Barnes, Red Guardian, Ghost, Taskmaster, and John Walker embrace on a dangerous mission that forces them to confront the darkest corners of their past. So the mission was you guys all kill each other, and this is when we get to the bombshell, which it wasn't that much of a bombshell. Everyone knew it was going to happen, but Taskmaster just getting a fucking bullet to the middle of her skull by Ghost. I thought was I thought was kind of crazy. And why I thought it was crazy, it happened in the beginning of the film. So it was pretty much played up that Taskmaster was going to be killed in this movie, right? I would have thought maybe towards the middle, towards the end, like you know that middle end part, not middle beginning or middle, but middle end. No, she literally got killed in like the first 20 minutes of the movie. I don't even know. I'm not even sure if it was 20 minutes. It might have been 10 to 15 minutes. Taskmaster was killed. Like she came in, she said one line, and then before you know it, bam, go shot her in the fucking head. Crazy. Insane. So I guess that was their death for the movie. You know, not really much stakes there because no one likes her or cared about her. From what I remember, everyone hated her as Taskmaster, right? No one liked her, no one respected her. I really feel like that was the worst part of Black Widow for most people. So, yeah. And that was the only major death. It wasn't any more major deaths. So, that's what we got. So take that how you will. It is what it is. But I like Taskmaster. I thought she was cool. I like what it represents, but I guess she wasn't really needed for this film, right? She wasn't really needed. I could see why they got rid of her, and it was an easy choice. If I'm just being honest, it was an easy choice to get rid of Taskmaster. So yeah, like a quick death. When I was in the theaters, I gave it a oh shit. She got shot in the fucking head. I did give it one of those, so shout out to me. Man, I always try to make these Marvel movies lit. In any movie I go to, I try to make it lit because I always remember my movie experiences. Like I remember every movie I've been to. So I always try to make the experience lit. So um yeah, that's how I feel about that. So Taskmaster getting a bullet to the head, terrible. Um who's next? I think that's pretty much the cast, right? Let's talk about Sentry. So Sentry was the villain of the movie, and he was touted stronger than any Avenger. Um, I guess you could say he is for what he could do, but a part of being strong is your mentality. He was very weak mentally, and that's why he was able to be overcome by the new Avengers, aka the Thunderbolts. I'm not saying it was easy. It wasn't easy, but he was okay. Like, he was okay. Like, I'm not mad at him as the villain, but he really wasn't the villain. He was pretty much a sucker from his own circumstances, having to deal with child abuse, domestic violence when it comes to his dad beating the shit out of his mom, and who knows where that takes a kid, a child. So obviously it took him to a dark place. So if you look at it from that perspective, sure, good villain. I love the way Yelena was able to connect with him. His thing was his darker half was telling him, no one cares about us. We're always going to be alone. Everyone is always going to reject us. And that was the thing I liked about Century is because, you always got that dark voice. Well, I can only speak for myself. Like, some people just got positive affirmations all day. Motherfucker like me, I get those, but I get that dark shit too. Like, no one ever love you, no one cares about you, blah 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 blah, etc. So I really like that they touched on that as far as Century. Now, the real villain in this movie was Val, aka Julia Louis Dreyfus. She was the real villain of the film because she's the one who made the Century Project, killed a bunch of other people, but Rob, aka Bob, was the only one who survived. So she was the real villain of this movie. Remember the villainous thing she was doing in Wakanda Forever. I think she showed up in maybe she showed up in Black no, not Black Widow. Did she show up in Black Widow? I know for a fact she showed up in I think she did show up in Black. Yeah, she did show up in Black Widow at the last post credit scene. So, and that's how she recruited Yelena. So, yeah, like I thought it was a bit of a sharp turn for her to just go this deep, but she was already on the brink of being brought in, questioning for crimes she committed, doing stuff off the record she had no business doing. So, as far as her as the main villain, I give her a solid 7. She was okay, like not really threatening. And then at the end, she ended up cleaning it up so well that it didn't even matter. So yeah, she get a 7 as far as the villain tree. So yeah, I don't know. I think it could have. I think this movie lived up to what my expectations were. I thought it would be a good Marvel movie, not a great Marvel movie. I do not think this was a great Marvel movie. A good Marvel movie. I'll put this on the level of Thor Love and Thunder. What's another decent Marvel movie like? And I love Thor Love and Thunder. So I don't even want to say that. Like, I think I probably love Thor Love and Thunder more than this movie. Um, Yeah, I'll probably put this movie like a level above like Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, like movies like that. Like, because I love the Guardians, I love Black Panther, I love all those other movies. It's definitely not a terrible movie. It's definitely not Ant-Man 3. You know what I mean? It's a really good movie, not a great movie. So, just my opinion. You guys want to kill me on that? You can. is getting a lot of love, and I wanted to get the love. Um, Shout out to Wendell Pierce. He played the guy who was against Val, and I thought he did a good job. I don't know why they got Lawrence Fishburne in here, but yeah, he was really good. Yeah, I want this. I want this movie to do very well. It's 89% on the tomato meter with 200 reviews, and it's 96% on the popcorn meter with over 1,000 reviews. So that's what I want to see. I thought it was a good movie, a really good movie, really good Marvel movie. It's just not upper echelon to me. I really feel like those movies I named in the beginning, No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, um, Multiverse of Madness. I didn't even name that. Um, I think all those movies were better than Thunderbolts, if I'm just being honest. I think all those movies were better. Like, you're gonna look at me with a straight face and say Wakanda Forever not better than this movie. Talking about the emotional connection with Chadwick dying and everything that happened in that movie is better than Thunderbolts, honestly. You're gonna look at me with a straight face and tell me that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming back in Spider-Man No Way Home is not better than Thunderbolts? Like, stop it. Like, I don't know who's paying. Hey, Kevin Feige, I'm open for a check. If you want to pay me to say this movie was better than Endgame, so be it. Because it's not. So for all these, or not even better, but better than No Way Home, it's not better. It's not better than Multiverse of Madness to me. I'm sorry. The only movie is it better than Shang-Chi? Like, I don't know. I love Shang-Chi when it came out. I don't know if I really loved this movie. I liked it strongly. And there was a part that made me almost shed a tear um when Yelena grabbed old boy and she was like, I got you. You're not alone. You're not alone. And then all of the Thunderbolts grabbed Bob and was like, you're not alone. We're going to do this with you. That part almost made me cry. It did. Almost, but it didn't. You got to make me shed a tear. I was drunk. I had one beer. And then my girlfriend, she was sleeping. So I was like, bro, you sleeping? Let me get your beer. I drank all that. I didn't cry. So, bro, it was good. It didn't make me connect on that emotional level quite like that. So, just my personal opinion. But I'm glad it's doing well, and I hope it fucking owns the next couple weekends. I hope it owns the next few weekends because I'm all about Marvel doing well. I mean, it's paramount for the brand. So, yeah, it's just my personal opinion. So, if I had to give it a out of 10, I give it a solid, eh, I give it a solid 7. Like, it wasn't the best, damn sure wasn't the worst, but a 7 out of 10. And only because they wanted Florence Pugh to carry, and I feel like every scene she was in, she did a good job. But it could just be because of her character. Like the scenes that I really loved were with her and Alexi. Like those two, they really killed it. I mean, this is Bucky's first movie where he's not in Captain America's shadow. I would have liked to see a little more from him, a little more of his story. Um, as far as this guy, um, the fake Captain America, I can see why his was like it is. They try to make him the star. Wasn't feeling it, but it is what it is. Like I can respect it. Um, Everyone else they delivered though. Okay, so that's just my early opinion. Instant reaction. 7 out of 10. I don't mean it's bad. It wasn't my favorite Marvel movie. And I could be giving it 7 out of 10 because of the praise. So when I go see it again tomorrow and I do my deep dive where I take notes, it might go up to an 8. It might go up to an 8. But for now, I'm still on 7 out of 10 because of the praise and expectation. I named about 5 movies since Avengers Endgame came out that is not better than. So imagine the movies before Avengers Endgame, to my Infinity War, Ragnarok, Iron Man, Homecoming. Like, it's so many movies that I would not put this one above. So yeah, it has to get a 7, just off of expectation alone. Okay, so just my opinion. Hey, I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section. It's your host Kevin27. Believe it till you make believers. I'll see you on the next one. So the next episode will be blah 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 blah. How many things I missed the first time I seen what's the movie called? Thunderbolts. So with an asterisk. And that's just how I feel about it. So let's talk before we get out of here. Let's talk the post-credit scene because this is what really took the movie to another level. Let's talk the post-credit scenes. So we got 2 post-credit scenes. The first one, we find out the Thunderbolts are on the Wheaties box as the new Avengers. So once the Thunderbolts defeat Sentry, because they let him know you're not alone, he stopped taking over New York, and he went back to Bob. Okay, and they thought they was about to arrest Val, and she was like, "Oh, look at this, the new Avengers." She pulled a quick one on them, and all they did was oblige because everyone's just one. That was just one glory. So they all obliged, and they became new Avengers. And you got Alexi, which is on brand, in the cereal aisle, like picking up the Wheaties box. Like, hey, it's me. Like, hey, you don't see me? I'm on the Wheaties box. The Avengers. Like, hey. So yeah, like that's what you get. And good post-credit scene. I really liked it. I liked it. So the real post-credit scene that we really want is 14 months later, Sam Wilson is getting together the Avengers, even filing copyright complaints, and Alexi gets Avengers with a Z on the jumpsuit. And then a Fantastic Four ship enters the chat. So obviously, a little promo for Fantastic Four that's coming out in July. So we get some promo, and I think it's cool. So as far as Sam Wilson getting together the real Avengers, obviously he's going to have to get the Thunderbolts involved. I'm not mad at that. Even though it could be a little standoffish because they asked Bucky, well, did you talk to Sam? And he said, yeah, I talked to him about it. And he's not budging off the Avengers name. No, you're not going to be the Avengers. He has more right to it, I feel, than the rest of them because he's not an original Avenger, but he was around since 2015. So he was around before the rest of them. So cool, cool, cool. Um, I do love when Yelena was like, "That's why we are Avengers with a Z." Very funny moment. Very funny moment. Very funny moment. Um, as far as the Fantastic Four entering the chat, I like it. I love it. I hate it at the same time because they're just really showing us that when we go see Fantastic Four, Galactus is going to destroy their universe, and that's going to somehow bring them into our universe, the 616. I was hoping when they were saying that, oh, we got a breach from a spacecraft from a different planet or a different universe. Can you guys read my mind? Who was I hoping it was going to be? I was hoping it was going to be old girl from the Marvels because she's trapped in a different universe. And we talking about Monica Rambeau. I thought it was going to be her. It wasn't. It was the Fantastic Four. I was still excited, but I mean, it is what it is. So, very well done post credit scenes, both of them. Really enjoyed both of them. Are worth the wait. So, please make sure you wait for the end credits so you can see those post credit scenes. So, before we get out of here, I got 5 questions we need to ask. And these 5 questions are paramount to the story or to the next story. So, was it a good passing of the torch? So, when I say, is it a good passing of the torch? Was it a good passing of superhero flick ups? We got the Avengers, we got the Thunderbolts. We're not going to say the Marvels. We're not even going to say Guardians of the Galaxy. We're going to just say on Earth. I don't think the Marvels were so much on Earth as it, and they did a lot for Earth, but it wasn't so much on Earth as Avengers, at least the first two, and the Thunderbolts. So let's keep it there. Was it a good passing of the torch? I would say yeah. I think Yelena is way more likable as a character and as a Black Widow than Natasha. My personal opinion. I think she's a better character. She's better written. And when you talk about actors, actresses, I think Florence Pugh is better than Scarlett Johansson. Just my personal opinion. Um, if we talking about the Captain Americas, which would be Captain America versus John Walker, give me original Cap, even though he's a cornball. I just don't like John Walker. And then Red Guardian, he clears everyone besides Iron Man. So yeah, I mean, it's a good passing of the torch. I think they are a formidable group. And obviously bringing Bucky on, for sure, for sure. Ghost, they was trying to clown her because she said she can only, do the phase and things she does for a minute. That's a long time. If I'm in this car and I could phase into the next car, that's gonna catch you off guard. So I like Ghost. And then who's next? We talked about Florence Pugh and obviously uh Taskmaster, she got shot in the face. So who cares about her? So question number 2, what do I rate the action out of 10? I think the action was a solid 8. Not the best action scenes I've ever seen in my life. If I'm being honest, I can't think of one action scene that made me say, whoa. Like, remember when Iron Man was fighting Thanos? Like, or Thanos threw the moon at him. You know what I mean? It's just like no moments like that at all. Maybe if you want to say Yelena jumping off that tall building, what was the second tallest building in the world? But that's just because you know she did it in real life, so it's cool. But as far as the action scene, it really wasn't that spectacular. What do I rate the movie on graphics? As far as the graphics go, they were pretty good. I rated a 9 out of 10 because to me it seemed like they use a lot of practical effects. Sometimes you could really tell the CGI, especially when they started trying to fight Sentry. You could see the CGI, but other than that, a lot of practical effects. It seemed like so 9 out of 10 for sure. Does this movie move the MCU forward? Yeah, definitely. And only why I say it moves the MCU forward is because of the whole Fantastic Four post credit scene. If we just talking about the movie, it doesn't. Like, if I'm being honest, if we just talking about the movie, it does not move it forward. Why do I say that? I mean, all it was showing, oh, here's New York being taken over again. Again. It's like, damn, no one is helping out New York. It's always some shit when it comes to New York. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, that's what you would say. But if you're looking at it from the perspective of the post credit scene, seeing what's going to happen with the Fantastic Four, and that movie's coming out in July, for sure. Because clearly their planet is going to get destroyed, and they're going to find a way to our Earth to make things right. So yeah, I can't wait. Was this movie missing anything? I'll say no. I think this movie gave us everything that it can offer. No time for romantic interest. No time for any of that. I think the movie gave us what it could, and it gave us everything that it could. So just because I got it rated at a 7 out of 10 doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean I don't like it. I'm gonna go see it again tomorrow. But it is what it is, bro. Like I liked it. Wasn't my favorite. It actually was just the movie I thought it was going to be. It wasn't anything special to me. Not anything special. It was just a good Marvel movie. And that's okay. And I'm okay with that. So if you're okay with that, hit that like button, give me that 5-star subscription, and please believe until you make believers. It shows Kevin 27. I'll see you on the next one.